right, we got biceps, a little bit of back, and it's currently 7 p.m., so a little evening lift. With that being said, I kind of want to go over, I'll give a little story about when I first started working out 6 years ago, or just a story back then, and then I'll play it into something I want to talk about and I guess teach before I get into the gym today. And it's relation to being nighttime, so with the sleep aspect of progress, all right? Just to give a quick context. Around 2019 a little bit, and then 2020, when really didn't have jack shit to do. At least I was in high school, so other than like sports, not much going on. So that being said, lifting and just getting into it. Of course, first year, you really don't know jack shit. So all I knew was just, I know if I train hard and eat more, like I'm doing something right. So I train my ass off just as hard as I am now. And obviously, while doing those two things, I continually try to look up online and learn more about how to get bigger, if I'm doing this right, like what else do I need to know. And I learned how in 2 times your body actually puts on muscle, like protein synthesis was after you work out, like a couple hours after you work out, and when you're sleeping, right? So what I did was, this was probably a solid year or 6 months, 6 months of the year, whatever, I would work out around noon, get done working out about 3 o'clock, right? Long workout just because half the time I'd be scrolling on Spotify, just I didn't have anything else to do. So half the workout was just scrolling Spotify, half was actually training hard. And I would have a ginormous post-workout shake, and I would make sure I sleep for 2 hours after I work out. Because I was like, well, why don't I just double up post-workout recovery with the shake, the 2-hour protein synthesis after my workout, plus I'm sleeping. I feel like I gotta get fucking huge from doing this shit. So I would make sure I slept a midday nap for like at least an hour and a half after I worked out, because I wanted to get the extra sleep in for the extra bump of putting on muscle. And then I would have a full night of sleep as well. And looking back at it is kind of funny, because of course that's not how it works, right? Yes, sleep is important, but doing that extra hour and a half midday after a workout, thinking you're like power surge in your body to slap on muscle after a workout is, in hindsight, foolish. But I gotta say respect to myself, at least for the dedication of, that's how bad I wanted to get bigger, all right? I was doing anything and everything I possibly could understand and apply at that time about getting bigger. So how does this apply to teaching something? Well, a couple things. One is overcomplicating sleep, thinking that you're not growing or not progressing because it's sleep, and because like, oh, my sleep quality is bad, or I need a wristband for my quality sleep, or I'm not getting 9 hours, I'm not growing. It's like, by no means do you ever have to overcomplicate your sleep. Like, if you're waking up every day and you feel like absolute dog, then okay, maybe. But if you're getting at least 7 hours every night, other than that, like, honestly, you're good. 7 hours. Sometimes if you have work or something, like 6.5, it's like you're fine. 6 hours is like bare minimum. 7 is minimum, all right? So we're shooting for that every night. And I say that because, like, everyone hits a plateau in the progression, whether it's their first year, second year, third year, whatever. And you go down like that toilet bowl of trying to figure out what the problem is, right? And all right, make sure someone didn't cut me off. And part of that toilet bowl is like, oh, it's my diet, or oh, is it sleep? It must gotta be sleep. I'm not sleeping right? And it's almost it's usually not that, really. It's very, very unlikely that it's your sleep, and almost always it's your diet and maybe some slight minor tweaks in training, right? And how that plays in today with it being dark out already is if you're concerned about like taking caffeine at night, of thinking like, oh, dude, the reason I'm not progressing is because I'm taking caffeine before I work out, and I'm working out at 7 o'clock at night, and I don't think my sleep quality is good. Like my sleep score, it's like, I can promise you that's not the problem, okay? If you're avoiding taking caffeine for your workout because you want to make sure you recover, but because you didn't take caffeine before your workout, it's a half-assed lift, what are you trying to save yourself to recover from, right? If your workout was mid and you didn't take the caffeine because you need to recover better, you're recovering from a mid-workout, right? So let's make sure the workout's good, and everything else can take care of fixing it, right? You get 7 hours, even if you're taking caffeine. Like I had 200 milligrams, I know I'll be fine. That being said, if you have some crazy caffeine intolerance, where it's like you have a cup of coffee and you get like some heart palpitations, or like, dude, you get just fucking jacked up, then maybe split your dose in half, have half a scoop of pre-workout, right? But I wouldn't just throw it out the window, because caffeine's got to be like one of the best things for working out, right? Because we're trying to get in there and push as hard as we can, and that's like the number one driver of all this, right? Getting bigger, getting leaner. So I wouldn't try to fade the caffeine. So yeah, that was just something I wanted to touch on. Yeah, what else? I don't know. That was the main thing I wanted to say, because I know sleep is sometimes. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I probably like 90% of the issue, or 90% of the time, the issue with a plateau, or just any issue you're trying to figure out within your progression, is diet, your nutrition. And that's because the rabbit hole for diet is unbelievably deep, okay? Training, not too much. You can just watch a professional bodybuilder's workout, like watch Chris Bumstead lift in the gym. It's nothing insane. He's not doing some fancy trick in there to lift. The lifting part is pretty straightforward. Some technique tweaks, and like your tempo on your sets and some stuff like that. But like, that's pretty quick to get the hang of. But the rabbit hole of your diet with its macros and the type of food you pick, and the carbs, the type of carbs you're picking, the amount of fiber in your diet, the type of fats you're eating. Are you eating monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats? Your amount of protein intake, the amount of saturated fats compared to monounsaturated fats. Are you having complex carbs or simple carbs? What's the meal timing of these? What's the ratio of glucose to fructose within your carb sources? Is it 20% fructose? Because your body functions at a higher output with that. Like, what's the ratio of carbs to fat you have in your diet to protein? Are you in a 300 calorie to 500 calorie surplus and gaining, I don't know, to like a pound and a half a week, 2 pounds maybe even? Like, it's those were just like some general vocab I wanted to throw out there to show that it's like, you might not even know what a monounsaturated fat is, and why does it matter, and why do we want mostly monounsaturated fats in our diet, and then why do we want a certain amount of fiber? Why do we not want complex carbs? Why do we do want complex carbs? It's like, what the fuck is a complex carb, right? And by no means do I know everything, but I will say I know a good amount, regardless of me being 21, okay? So yeah, that what I was trying to get at there is this: the rabbit hole is deep for the diet, And I really think the biggest progress I've seen in my physique, literally in this past year and a half, was with an on-point diet. And I'm not talking just if it fits your macros, hitting your calorie goal and protein goal for the day and eating whatever the fuck you want. I'm not talking about that, because I did that too. Right? I did that for a year. And I've been on point for almost 2 years with like an actual structured meal plan. With like intention behind every detail in the meal plan. So there's definitely more to it. And by no means do you have to like know all that to make progress. I can promise you that. But I will say, depending on like your level of training, your goals, and I guess those two. Some of it can be put into play much more in relation to your goals. So that being said, we do have to lift today. Biceps, a little bit of back. I'll start with back. I'll do a couple exercises. I'll do some type of row, some type of pull down. Then we'll just hammer biceps. 3 different types of exercises, and then pose it up, and get out of here. We're sitting at 223 this morning. I have been that for the past week. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit lethargic from these carbs, dude. I mean, like 600-700 carbs. All right, let's get in there. See you in there. All right. Normally I do some type of, I guess, barbell row or low to high row, but I mean, if everybody's taking next best thing, some similar type of row. What is this? I don't even know what I call it. Just a low row, pretty much. But since it's mainly biceps today with a little bit of back, I do try to get in at least one of the 2 back movements, like supinated. Even though it's not mainly biceps being used, it definitely get hit more indirectly with something when it's supinated. So if you think about it, like here to here, it's like very similar to a bicep curl or like a drag curl. Either way, but it's just one bonus way to get a little bit more volume for biceps. Other than the 3 exercises I'm going to do after this anyways, so it's just something bonus I like to throw in my workout. Makes me feel like I made a science particular, like handcrafted lifting routine, but by no means do you have to put that shit in there to make it a good routine. So that, and then we'll do a type of pull down. Probably because I'm doing this one supinated, I'll do the next one like regular. Maybe I'll do like a wide grip pull down. Something like that, mix it up. So, let's get it.
I guess switching your grip definitely hits parts of your back. I guess something I could point out is I don't overly obsess with making sure I hit every exact muscle in my back. Well, I do, but I schedule. Hold on. I organize the training in a way that's like I basically guarantee it based off of the exercise orientation. Like, maybe not today because I'm doing biceps, but for back, if it's like a specifically a back day, I'll have 2 horizontal movements, 2 vertical movements, and make sure the elbow path for all of them is different. And there's only so many ways your elbow can move to hit your back, right? If you hit all 4 angles, like vertical movement, elbow wide, vertical movement, elbow in closer, horizontal movement, elbow in close, horizontal movement, elbow wide, like you're gonna hit everything in your back. Sure, there's some other stuff you can do, like I don't know, throw the cable like to my upper left and like swing around like this, but like, is it necessary? Probably not, but like I just said, if you're throwing a bunch of different angles, it's a pretty good chance that you're hitting everything in your back. If you want to spend the time and look up exactly what target muscle in your back you hit every time, and I'm not talking like just lats, like no shit, like if it's the trying to hit exactly like your rhomboid in your back or the target's that exactly. If you want to go ahead and pick the perfect exercise for you, go ahead, but you look at any pro, they usually have a similar scheme back day like I got, except probably 3 to 4 more exercises because they need a lot more volume in their back day or any other muscle group to grow because they got obviously more years than me in the gym. So it takes some more volume. That being said, let's do 1 more of these and then crank out some fucking pull downs. Yeah, holy back pump, dude. Forgot it feels different when you crank out 5 meals before you come and lift. Had 3 of them probably within the past 3 hours. Damn. Alright, let's move on. All right, well, every single lat pull down's taken, and it's been about, let me adjust this real quick. Solid 5 minutes waiting, so next best thing is do some assisted pull-ups. Close enough. Dude, I forgot that's usually the general scheme of picking my exercises when I'm at this gym. Work out like around this time is like, just pick something similar at that point, because chances are you're gonna be waiting for 20 minutes for everything, which is fine. I mean, you're not gonna see a difference in development because you did a assisted pull-up compared to a lat pull-down, so like whatever. Wait. All right, let's finish up with biceps. All right. Normally I've been starting with preacher curl, but we'll start with Bayesian curl, whatever you want to call it. Fucking behind the back curl. As long as I get 3 different angles of hitting biceps, like elbow angle. Same with back, how I said, if you pull like horizontal, different angle with your elbow, different elbow angle. Same shit goes for damn near any muscle group. This one is just, I'll have one elbow back here pulling, one at the side, then one in front, which is preacher curl, and then just mix up the grips, like a hammer curl, supinated curl. I don't really do reverse curls. There's really no point of trying to hit this part of your form, quite honestly. So with that being said, we'll just start with this. Debating how to do preacher curl or hammer curl next. Probably whichever's open. If the preacher curl's open, I'll take it while it's there, but they'll decide it.
I know with our drive rule, I think it's consistent schedule.
I'm debating if to make this a tempo set or the other one. Might as well do it for this. Do like 2 quick, 1 super slow. Try to get more reps. In fact, I only got like 7 or 8 on the previous one. Previous exercise. Okay, this is way too light.
A little bit longer bolt.
Alright, one more of these and we'll move on. We'll see if I can get a few more, make it rest pause. Okay. Maybe like 2 more. Alright, well, normal room I do these in. There's 15 people in there, so just picked a fucking random mirror in the gym, crank this out. It's the last thing we got anyways, no good posing and then get out of here.
Really hard. Cardio is harder. Yeah. Because you gotta. You don't have like energy to work out. Yeah. You don't have as much. Yeah. Yeah. When you're bulky, you're all all of it, and you're strong. Yeah.
Fine. Like that. You wanna do muscle, you have to eat, and when you
Yeah.
and it's in English.
That you put like this?
Oh, yeah, you know, it's like,
Is it fast?
yeah.
Do I talk about it?
No.
I try to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, like, I understand you
Well,
like,
because if I were to speak or Spanish, it sounds so like I didn't mean it.
so if I speak you in Spanish, maybe you'll be understand.
Yeah.
But I have all friends just speak in 1 year. It's really good. Yeah, now when I start to do just in Spanish, yeah, when you know like the basics, yeah, understand like that.
Yeah. I feel like basic
Yeah.
a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, how do you?
I don't.
My English.
How do I use it?
Yeah,
You're really good for.
like 100%. Yes.
How long have you been? 3 years? 2? That's really no. You're really good. I've been here for 30 years. Probably good to win. I like some of the time.
check it out. Dude, for how far we got in the past 5 months, I'd say this is like easily the best it's been for an off season. Like just leanness wise and mass put on. I mean, obviously after show helps a ton because once you get that lean, your body just wants to put on weight. And I guess what we call it, like a rebound effect. I don't know, whatever. It's your body gets in a super like anabolic state after competing because it just wants to put weight on because of being so lean, just from like a survival state. It wants to have fat on it so it can have some sense of security surviving. And the fact that it was so on point with putting calories back into the diet instead of just hammering food immediately after show, you're able to just put on way more muscle than fat. And dude, I was 190 on stage. At least the morning of the show, I was 190 morning weight. And I'm like 223 now, over 5 months, July 19th. So August, September, October, November, December, almost 6 months, which, yeah, it's just definitely have to turn to a fucking cut after that long of a bulk. But definitely paid off. I mean, 30 pounds in how many weeks is that? Probably 25 weeks-ish. That sounds about right. I mean, dude, if you do the math, it's about a pound a week, so that's what we're going for on we're bulking. By no means am I stage lean, but I mean, dude, I definitely can't complain to how relatively lean we still are at 223. To put it in perspective, peak bulk before going into prep, I was same way I am now, but like no visible abs and I don't know, probably like 17% body fat. And I'd say I'm probably like 11 or 12 right now. So definitely a major difference between the two. That's only in like a year difference. I started my prep like March, 10 months ago, about, so. Anyway, let's check it out. That's enough for me today. Talk more in the car and get out of here. Gotta put the tarp on first. All right. Let's fucking get out of here.
I'll turn the light on in a second. Let me just back up. Yeah, what'd you think of that shit? 5? I'll stop talking like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would you want to know from that workout? I feel like it was pretty simple. Something like that. It's like do biceps. It's pretty hard to overcomplicate biceps. So, I don't know. Sleep I already talked about on the way here. Workout, I think I explained enough during the workout about why I did those back exercises, why I did the amount of, or why I just did every exercise that I did, what was going through my head. And then pose, told you about the weight gain. And now probably am going to be cutting. So my coach said he probably thinks I have like 2 more months of bulking before because of how lean I am. But fuck, dude, like the mental capacity it takes to eat that much food, just like depending on what you do, either your job or school or what. If you're in school, honestly, I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal. But the fact that I'm graduating in like 4 months and it's like, dude, you gotta fucking make money, and it's like the content full time, the clothing brand, and I day trade, and literally my main source of income trading is all cognitive skill, and trying to down fucking 600 carbs is just trying to focus on something. It's like trying to get hammered and then like study for an exam or some shit. Like, so why am I bringing this up? Because I could say 2 reasons. Probably not going to compete for at least a couple more years. And another reason is, I'm bringing it up, is depending on like what your goals are. And you may not fully understand the sacrifices you may need to make, and if you're actually willing to make those sacrifices based on a goal. And you may not know if that's really a goal you truly want. And it's easy to make that decision in your head very quick, but to know if it's really what you want, it definitely takes some time, and there's no shortcut to it. And in this context, I'm saying of like wanting to be a pro bodybuilder. You asked me 3 years ago what's my life goal, and I would have told you just to be a pro bodybuilder. Where I'm at now, I told myself I couldn't handle trying to be a pro bodybuilder and have to go work in an office job for the rest of my life. I was not willing to accept that trade-off. So could I have become pro and like had the content going up already and then be able to make enough money to pursue it? Yeah, sure. But has it happened? And am I in crunch time right now to where it's like it's either I gotta pick, work one of those jobs, work out for 2 hours, the rest of my day is just spent eating meals, or still work out, just get lean, make content that way of being lean and not being pro, and then be able to continue like day trading and make that my main source of income. And that was the decision I made. And I say this not to just digress on my life, but to tell you guys, like, further you may get in your goal, you may realize like other doors open up, and you may be like, man, I really thought this was like the number one thing I want to do in life, but in reality I see this other door that opened up and it's like, holy shit, I like this even more. And for me, that's business, entrepreneurship. So I mean, you can say the same for like, I don't know if you know Alex Hormozy. He's kind of the same way. He really likes working out, and he learned that he really likes business more. I mean, he sold 3 million copies of his book or something like that. Made $106 million in revenue in like 3 days. I mean, I can promise you he's not doing that if he is competing in like a pro show or something. You don't have the time. Whoa. You don't have the time to be doing both. And I used to think like, why is no like well-known entrepreneur like just fucking yoked? Like I feel like I'd be the first, but like there's a reason, because it's a split across time. And of course you'd be in shape, and I'm still gonna fucking work out, but it was just the difference of like the PED side of it. Imagine trying to day trade with taking steroids, dude. It's asking to fucking mentally explode. Roid rage on the MacBook. So that, and yeah, it's hard. Maybe I'll pursue being a pro in a few years from now. It's not off the table. It's just push back a little bit. And I also came to that conclusion after competing. So I highly recommend, if you've been working out for a good amount now, to get a coach and compete in your first show. Respectfully, like, you better be working out for at least a few years before you do that. Otherwise, you're going to embarrass yourself and hate it. Yeah, I advise that, because you get a feel for what it is. You realize you practice so much leading up to it, and you're on stage for a solid fucking 30 to 50 seconds. And you're like, holy shit, I did all that just for 50 seconds. It's like, yeah. And that, along with seeing other people that are in the sport and how it affects them, like the PD side of it mentally, and it's like, I'm very glad I got my first show, and it was like, that was enough for me for now. So, and that's why I advise the same deal. And maybe if I never competed, I'd probably still be here like, man, I really just want to be a pro, like, and switch to what I was doing. And imagine waiting until like 5 years from now and then competing, and then realizing what I just realized 6 months ago. That would be regret. I'd be like, man, I wish I just didn't spend these 5 years when I could have competed earlier and just like learned if I really wanted this or not. But yeah, it's just put in perspective. So yeah, by all means, if your goal is just, dude, I want to get like fucking shredded, or I want to get just a little bigger, a little bit leaner, and not some above and beyond goal like a pro bodybuilder, fucking go for it. Like, by no means do I say you have to be a lard ass or super skinny to be able to be like a businessman or pursue one of your life goals. I'm just saying that was the conflict of interest within my own realm. So yeah, I'm still gonna make it work. Just maybe push back the pro. I will reconsider becoming a pro in a year or two from now. So probably minimum 2 to 3 years until I compete again. But yeah, I think that was a mature decision of mine to do that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty tough to be able to decide like which route. But that's how it fucking goes. It's all good. Yeah, I couldn't really think of what else would I talk about in the car ride home, but I feel like there's a takeaway lesson there. I think so. And also, something I can point out is you see guys that are like, maybe are pros online or are like 260 lean, like you see like Julian Decina or I don't know, any other guys, Trent Twins, and you're like, man, I want to be like that. Just start fucking taking steroids. But you only see the one guy that gets famous and rich from it, and you don't see the 999 other men that took the same shit and lives are ruined. Maybe not ruined, but definitely not as good as it was prior. You know, you only see the one that's in the spotlight, and you don't see the other 999 that are like, man, I wish I didn't do that. So, yeah, it's a good message. So, tomorrow we got glutes and hamstrings. Crank that out. And if that's rest day. If you have any suggestions for like YouTube video that I break down on my laptop or like on a whiteboard to explain, let me know, because I'm gonna start making ones that are based off of what I think I would want to have seen like a few years ago, and then I just go from there. But if you got one off the cuff, that's my thank you for being early to the channel. I'll make a video on it. All right, call it there. Peace.